Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Paying the Ferryman 777, or indeed, welcome back. If you've been watching my videos already, I really appreciate it. If you're new here, I don't recommend, as always, to go back to the beginning of this playlist, to start from the start. I think you'll get more benefit out of it. But anyway, I want to jump right in. This video is about a very, very special weekend that came soon after the previous ritual I talked about in my previous video. Actually, in my notes at the top of the page, it says best weekend of my life. So it was a very special weekend for me. Why? Because it was like a retreat weekend in my tribe. There was a course that they were doing. It was a 2-day course. So during the day, we did what's called Neurolinguistic Programming therapy type course. And this was for 2 days. And each day after the course was finished, we had food. And then in the evening, we had ayahuasca rituals on both nights. So it was a combination of this neurolinguistic therapy and ayahuasca rituals later. So it was incredibly powerful. It was a really, really moving weekend, and there was a lot of healing done. So basically, the 2 days of the course, during the day, there was some lectures and some teachings, and we done some exercises as part of this neurolinguistic therapy. We done one exercise that was like a kundalini awakening, so it was like pulling up the energy from your root down low and bringing it up, activating your third eye or higher self. And the exercise was essentially a movement exercise where you would do this with your hands in front of each chakra, in front of each energy point in your body, and you're pulling up the energy. You're pulling it up at the same time you're releasing kind of like cries. You're saying ha ha ha. So you're ha ha, and you're pulling up energy like this. It was a very interesting exercise. I was having visions during the exercise. I was having visions come to me as I was pulling the energy up. And after the exercise, people would talk a little bit, if they wanted to, about what they felt and what they saw during that process. And that was one of the exercises. Another one we did was where we like beat the shit out of pillows. Everyone got a pillow, and your job was to just kill the pillow, take out all your anger, your rage, and destroy the pillow. So a whole room full of like, I don't know, 100 people just started to beat the shit out of pillows, smash them on the ground, rip them open, their teeth. One girl, one of my friends, she was bashing the pillow so hard she broke her hand. But it was, again, another exercise of therapy, just releasing all of this stuff. If you didn't want to do that, you could hug the pillow and you could give it love, and you could just hold the pillow and be loving. But the vast majority of people just destroyed the pillows, and the whole room was full of feathers. In the end, it was kind of cool, actually. So that was another exercise. Another really cool exercise that we did was more like a technique we learned, and it's called a human pendulum. If you know a pendulum, people use them for divination. It's like a crystal on the end of a chain, and you can ask questions, yes or no questions usually, And depending on the way that the pendulum moves, that the crystal starts to swing, it tells you if it's a yes or no answer. So, for example, you have your pendulum on a chain, it's a crystal, a pointed crystal at the end. I mean, you could use other objects too. Most commonly, it's a crystal. You will give it a test question, like something simple, so you can judge which direction is yes and which direction is no. So you might say, um, if you have a cat, and you might say, do I have a cat? You know the answer is yes, and you'll watch what the crystal starts to do, and you'll know that, okay, clockwise is yes today. And then you'll ask another test question, like, am I a monkey? And obviously the answer is no, and you'll observe and you'll see that the crystal goes in anti-clockwise direction. So you'll know then that the answer is anti-clockwise is no. And then you can ask the questions that you actually want to ask. You just do the test first to see which way the crystal says yes and which way the crystal says no. It's a very simple and common divination tool. There are many divination tools that people use, crystal pendulums, tarot cards, palm readings, tea leaf, teacup readings, all sorts of divination tools that people can use. But we learned this technique called the human pendulum. So it's the same concept, but rather than use a crystal and a pendulum, you use your body. So you stand up straight and you take some deep breaths to center yourself, bring your focus into your chest, into your heart space, move it down from your head and bring it here into your chest, focusing on your breathing. Take in 3 or 4 really deep breaths and exhale and bring your focus here to your heart. And then you're going to do the same process as if you were using a pendulum with a crystal. You're going to ask a test question and see what your body does. So you'll say, do I have a black cat? And your body, without you trying, it's going to either lean forward or it's going to lean back like that. So you do the test question, you'll see what your body does. It can take a few goes to feel it, but what you want to do is just not force it, not do anything obviously, and just let it happen. And then you ask another test question, am I a monkey? If the answer is obviously no, your body's just going to lean back like that. Could be contrary, it could be forward is no and back is yes, depends. That's why you do the test questions. So it's another method of finding answers that you want to find. Usually in this case, because you're using your own body, it's going to be stuff that is pertaining to you, pertaining to your past, stuff that your body will remember, your mind might remember, even if it's locked away somewhere or like repressed somewhere. You can get information using your body like that. That was a really cool technique. So through the combination of these lectures, these techniques, the neurolinguistic programming, many of us got a lot out of it. There was a lot of introspection. We discovered things about our past, sometimes hard things that we probably repressed or whatever. A lot of issues that we have now started back when we were children, or even in the womb. And yeah, I discovered stuff during this, visions and insights and stuff like that came to me about sexual abuse when I was a child, about attempted murder when I was a child, stuff like that had traumatized me, but had never really been dealt with, but just got buried down inside and hidden somewhere. We tend not to remember when we're in the womb, but or even when we're very young children, we don't have memory. but we do somewhere have it locked away, and it still affects us. We absorb a lot when we're young, when we're in the womb, and certain traumas that happen then can carry all the way through until you get to a stage where you can resolve them. But yeah, I discovered those aspects of trauma that I was carrying from when I was a child. I won't go into those things anymore, for personal reasons, um, mostly to protect other people. It was very insightful and healing. Before we even got to the healing rituals with ayahuasca, we were clearing stuff up, learning these techniques, releasing so much trauma, so much crap. And later, when it came time to do the rituals, we were already after purging a lot of stuff. We were already after resolving a lot of stuff and healing a lot of stuff. So the rituals were incredibly powerful, and the medicine was able to get right in there, let's say, and really resolve a whole bunch of things. It was quite amazing. But so the first night, the first ritual was a shamanic theme. It was actually stellar shamanic, so the music was a little bit different, a little bit more cosmic. It was cool. And a really interesting thing happened in that ritual. Another friend that had come with us this time. We brought another couple friends of ours with us, and it was their first time to do anything like that. And one of them, during the ritual, ended up being obsessed. And what that means is surrounded by or attacked by spirits that are called obsessors. Obsessors will attach to people. Usually we give them the opening, or it's usually because of our actions or behaviors or addictions, things like that, that these obsessor spirits that are essentially lost, are stuck in a specific vibration, they can't get out of it. They will look for people who are also in that vibration so that they can extract energy from them, can hold on to them. And when you have a problem with obsessors, they'll tend to keep you down. They'll tend to keep manipulating you, causing you strife and pain, so that your vibration stays low, and that way they can get to you. Because it's all vibration, right? These spirits that are stuck in lower vibrations of negative energies, they can't touch you. They can't really get you if you're like up here and you're like resolved and happy and healed. They're not going to be able to get to you. You're essentially in a different dimension. However, when you're, for example, addicted to drugs, or if you're an alcoholic and these problems become exacerbated, maybe you have lots of some traumas from the past and you use alcohol or drugs to alleviate the pain, the chances of these obsessor spirits attaching to you are higher, because you're constantly lowering your vibration with drugs or alcohol. Those things are low vibrational. So when you do them too much and you get addicted to them, you end up lowering your vibration, and then these spirits can get to you. If you watched previous videos where I talked about incorporating spirits of high vibration, those spirits who are high vibration will send energy down to the medium, to me for example, to raise my vibration up so that I can come closer to them. But it works in the opposite direction for obsessors. They want to pull you down. so that they can feed off you and attach to you in the same way that a medium will attach with a higher vibration spirit to do good work, to do charity, to help people. These obsessor spirits can come up and attach and pull you down with them. So this friend of ours, he had a terribly difficult process. I do know that he was fond of cocaine. I don't know if he had done some recently. That would have been a really big no-no before a ritual. If he had done some the day before or not, I don't know. But don't do that. Really don't do that. But I do know he a party guy and he liked that. So possibly that could have been the reason. There's other reasons that people will have obsessors. They'll be attached to them for other reasons, like from past lives. You can literally be going through multiple lives with obsessors, and like a couple of lives ago maybe you killed someone and they couldn't let it go, they couldn't forgive you, so they keep obsessing you through various lives. That can be another situation. So there's different reasons, but these obsessor spirits can attach to people. There's other types of low-level spirits as well. Obsessors would be one sort of category. But yeah, the poor dude, he had a really difficult time with them. I was watching him squirm from his place. He was a couple of spaces up from me, starting to get concerned about him. And my guides were with me and they were like, you need to do something, you need to help him. And I was like, okay. And I got these 2 little bottles of magic crystal dust, let's say. So previously one of my guides, my Eshu, my guardian, he taught me how to make little magic powders, essentially. So he explained to me that I could take the incense powder, where I might have a little incense burner on my altar. So I'd burn incense for, high vibratory entities, and the incense ash would be in this burner. And he showed me that I could take that ash and then you mix it with crushed up quartz crystals, clear quartz crystals. So it's high vibration incense ash with high vibration clear quartz crystals, and then mix it up together, and this acts like an energizer, so it amplifies energy. And I could use that for different things. Sometimes I'd just take a little bit of it and blow it over someone's head to strengthen their connection. The opposite power was made with black onyx crystals, crushed black onyx crystals, and ash, not from incense on the altar, but from cigars that I would offer to my Eshus, or my guardian spirits on the left. So they have a different altar in a different part of the house, actually usually outside. If you have space outside, you put it outside, because it's a dense energy, and they themselves will advise. So no, put our altar outside. It's a heavier energy. So the clear quartz and the incense powder from my altar energized and amplified. The cigarette ash and black onyx from my left altar would decharge or cut the energy. So when I was looking at my friend going through this process, I could start to see the spirits around him, and it was like they were like, do you ever see a zombie movie where the zombies get to someone, they all just kind of like swarm them and fall on top of them? It looked like that, and it was as if they were like sucking the energy from him. And I went over, and I thought, well, okay, I'm gonna make a little circle around him with my cigarette ash black onyx crystal magic powder, and cut the energy off, cut him off from everything else that's around him. And I started to make the circle, and my hand, one of something that was invisible, just hit my hand, and my powder went everywhere. Holy shit! There was still a bit left in the bottom of the thing, not enough to make a circle, but I thought, okay, I'll just blow a bit at them, and I blew this powder, this cigarette ash powder, at them, and they got really pissed off, and they just swarmed and held onto him even harder and stronger. So the first time I'd seen something like this. I've seen it many times since, when I try and help them spirits, or to detach them from a person. It's always the same. When I get closer to doing it, they hold on even tighter, and the person that's being obsessed will feel that. It's not nice. Sometimes I can see that they're actually like almost choking them, and you can see, like, I've seen it in situations where like black veins have been just like going all over the skin of the person. So yeah, they knocked the powder out of my hand, and when I blew it on top of them directly, they just swarmed him even more and held on tighter. And at this stage, the guardians of the tribe and the godmother came over. They saw that something was wrong, and they came around, and I helped, and they were working with him, and I was working with them. But then I just blacked out, and I was gone, and I kind of just remember being back in my space again. And it was only later then one of the other girls in the tribe told me that, oh, you were gone. Your caboclo had just taken over completely, and one of my guides, and he was speaking in some indigenous language. He was praying in an indigenous language over him, along with the other people, to remove these obsessors and send them off, send them to the light. So that was also the first time that I had an unconscious incorporation. So usually when I'm with my guides, or my guides are incorporated with me, I'm still there. I still experience everything, and it's like it's like I'm sharing control. I'm always actually in control, and I can stop it at any time I want. However, on this occasion, it was an unconscious incorporation. Some mediums will do that. They'll have totally unconscious incorporation. So when the entity comes, they're gone. They're like asleep until the entity goes, and then they come back. Other mediums will still be conscious, and the entity will be there working through them, while the medium simply just takes a back seat, essentially. But yeah, that was crazy. They were like zombies on him, spiritual zombies. There is other ones who are more like, actually like zombies. They're not obsessors. They're even more, let's say, primitive. Obsessors will talk to you. They'll flip you off. They'll take forms where they have guns and stuff, and they'll be like, they'll be horrible. They're still intelligent. However, there's lower level ones that they're less intelligent and they're pure instinct, and it's just like energy. They're just looking for something that they can feed off to momentarily relieve their hunger. So yeah, I suppose that was the most interesting part of the first ritual that happened on the first night of this retreat, of this course. On the next night, we had another ritual, again after the course was finished. This would be my 16th ayahuasca ritual since I started with that tribe, since I started doing it. And it was this night was the reason that I wrote in my notebook, it was the best weekend of my life, because it was the night that I received my purpose in the most spectacular fashion. Firstly, I had healed so much during those trainings and exercises in the courses. And then when I went to consecrate the medicine on the second evening, it was like I just drank it and poof, I was already in the force. It was so easy. But I still had some work to do. Whatever had been released from the exercises and from the therapy needed to be clean, needed to be resolved. And I entered into this process that was hard. I felt like there was something on me, like something on my back. Wouldn't be the first time I've had that experience, but I felt like that there was something, and I entered into it like a despair. I was like, oh my God, what's this? And I so much so that I needed help. I had to ask my guardian to come, my spiritual guardian, not the guardians of the tribe, but my spiritual guardian, my Ishu. I said, Ishu, please help me. Please help me. I don't know what the hell is going on here. And he came. And he incorporated in me, and he started to do his magic. Every Ishu will work in slightly different ways. They'll use different tools. They'll have slightly different methods. But what my one would do when called or when with me, would like make these like sort of claw-like hands and start just pulling them across my body like this, across my head, and he'd be like cleaning whatever it was, taking away whatever it was that was causing me this upset, causing me this stress. While he was doing that, the madrina of the tribe came over to me. She could see that I was distressed, and she put her hand just in front of my forehead like that, and I saw like a brightness in my eyes, and I just went, everything went peaceful. I was like, oh, thanks, she helped me. And I entered then into like a cleaning process, like I've talked about in previous rituals, where you vomit. However, it was a particularly difficult one. My body was contorted trying to get whatever this was out. I was bent backwards trying to get this out. Eventually I did, and the most amazing thing happened. It was like whatever I had pulled out of me with these therapies, with these exercises, with the help of Ishu, this guardian spirit, with the help of the madrina, who came to give me a little bit of peace, with her hands, with her white lights, whatever it all was, all this energy had to come out. And as soon as I managed in the end to vomit it all out, it was just this amazing relief, and I suddenly like sat up straight, looked up into the air, and a beam of white light came down from heaven, from the sky, and covered me in white light. And I heard a voice tell me what my purpose was. And the voice said, your purpose is to rescue souls. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Why does that make sense to me? And in the previous rituals I started to already learn that. You can go back, if you haven't watched my previous videos, you'll see I explained things along the way. That's why I always recommend to just start from the beginning if you can. But the light, yeah, this light came down, and I hear this voice, this belting voice, telling me my purpose, and it was to rescue souls. This was like I was remembering that's what I do. It's like as if I had forgotten that's what I do. It was like I suddenly remembered, yeah, wait, of course that's what I do. So it was like I had some latent memories from whoever I was before I came to this world, of skills that I had, of abilities that I had. And I had been learning through these rituals about the other things that I can do, making these energy balls, elemental Reiki, all of these things just coming to me without ever doing a course or reading a book. So it was more like that. Instead of learning these things, it was like I was remembering these things from before I came here, if you get what I mean. But yeah, that was just something like unexplainable, this energy, and how bright the light was, and how like affirming it was for me. It was really, really special. And yeah, ever since then, I've been saving souls. I've been rescuing those types of entities, those obsessors, those zombie type souls who have gotten stuck in vibrations lower than this one where we are. I go down and I get them and I bring them up. So I'm going to leave it there for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. And yeah, like and subscribe, do what you do. Join me for the next one. Gets better. Love you.